can it be? Showing up with Tony T, yes, Ramon SEO. To the double T, befuddling these bookies like 1, 2, 3. They tapping out and we cashing out. It's plain to see. The morning scheme is the A-team, Mr. T. And I pity the fools who can't hang. Coming with real game is sort of a freight train. It's been reported bank rolls are easy to maintain. So get situated and listen to the picks. And it goes a little something like this.
And a pleasant good morning to you from Tony'sPicks.com. I'm Ramon Scott, and welcome to the Morning Steam for Saturday, January 27th. Big day in college basketball. We got NBA, NHL to talk about, preview games from those leagues and more. We'll talk about, we'll hint at tomorrow's big games. Boy, you wish we had football today, but get ready for tomorrow's championship games and who will go to the Super Bowl. And we saw headlines last night. Luka Doncic, she's the star of the night. 73 points, and no one can get over that 73 mark anymore. But certainly, Luka, the 10th man ever. We're seeing. I think I described what we're seeing a little bit with the way scoring is headed here. I mean, I know we all know it, but to see some of these outlier performances, they're starting to look kind of the norm. And Luka had 65 points with 10 minutes left in the game, and Dallas went on to win that one on the road yesterday. Big night for Luka, and well deserved. Mentioned Kobe in his post game, so that was, I thought, the big headlines yesterday. How did you guys do? I see you guys talking about your winners. I like to hear that. Say hello to you folks, and then, we'll try to preview games. I don't know what we can do. We've got so many games today: NBA, NHL, college basketball. I just picked the best of the best, pretty much. Even left some out. So if you have requests, we can go. We just don't want to make the show too long with 140 college basketball games today. We'll try to throw up the steam there in the Discord. I'll get that going maybe right after the show, and give you guys something, and maybe try to deliver some picks in there. We'll go over to Tony'sPicks.com as well and see who did well yesterday on our site, Tony'sPicks.com, where we have our premium picks. All right, I want to say hello to everyone as I come in here. And C is here for our show today. Thank you guys for coming along. I'm watching action right now. Certainly, I'm watching Atalanta and Udinese in Italy. I'm firing up La Liga over here as well. There's FA Cup going on. I saw Man City yesterday win an FA Cup. I think we'll have coverage of soccer for you from Gerardo and the crew maybe in the Discord today, or seeing some action maybe in there. Head on over to our Discord. I've listed it there in the top of the chat. You get some information. Maybe I'll go with a lot of picks in there today as I watch games. I mean, I'm just sitting here watching games anyways, so maybe we get more people to join. Let me say hello to our folks today coming in. It's Justin here first, and Gerardo is ready to go. Our Tomps is here. Dre here today. He said he had a 4-0 day. Stephen Downing. Perky's ready to roll. Ari and Herky are here as well today. Thomas Lewis says like and smash. Gerard Dreyer. Good to have you, sir. Thank you. Rick is here this morning. Curtis as well. Hello to Curtis. Jeff Schramm. Doubles is here today. Thank you, Doubles, for coming along. And who else? Moneyline Mills, Solo here today. Great crew. Chase Move, able to join us this weekend. All right. Gerardo says, Atalanta, you can tell they're about to score just by what's going on. And they just put a shot wide. Almost, Gerardo. He said, let's get on it. Atalanta, you guys know he just was typing it in fast. He knows too. But Atalanta, if you guys are looking and don't know as much about it, but Italian League action here. All right. I'm going to go over to Tony'sPicks.com real quick. Take a look at what's going on with the site, with the handicappers. I went 3-2 with my premiums yesterday, and I'm loaded today in picks. Hey, no time for partying here today with our big day of college hoop. Take a look at who did well yesterday over at Tony'sPicks.com. It was Butterscotch, Mark Eubanks, 8-2 yesterday, 80%, coming in with over 6.25 units of profit. Tiffany Mance, 8-5, 2.5 units of profit. Gene got picks, Gene got winners, 67% coming in at 218. Hollywood Sam won his only 2 picks on the day. Ron Crawford, author of the spreadsheet play of the day, 67%. Plus 134 units. Ron Hahn, Tim Irwin, they won their only play. There's Tony T with a 2-1 day. I'm up there with the 3-2. Collins Brown, 3-2, and Pravi Samba Murti with a 5-4 day for the last 30 days here at Tony'sPicks.com. It is Butterscotch. Mark Eubanks on top of the handicapper leaderboards here. 60% winners. 9-13 the units. Gene got picks number 2 here with 62%. Good for nearly 9 units of profit. I'm number 3 for the week with nearly 6 units of profit. Collins Brown, 5.5 units of profit. Ron Hahn, nearly 4.25 units of profit. For the last 30 days, it is Butterscotch with 34 units of profit. Just a terrific job since joining the site. You knew he'd be crushing it. He is right now hottest handicapper at Tony'sPicks.com. Gene got picks up there. Nick Lagaretto, 17.5 units as well. There's probably Samba Murti. Joseph Schultz, nearly 13.25 units of profit. And for the year, still, you see how deep that leaderboard runs from our handicappers. 13 cappers in the green so far over at Tony'sPicks.com. I'm up there somewhere. There I am, number 6, up nearly 13 units here, half a unit a day. I guess to a certain extent, we would certainly take that all year long, but we'll keep it going here and have a pretty crushing day, I would imagine, in college basketball. Who knows how many I could fire on by the time this day is over. I try to keep it reasonable for the clients here, but today's a day that we're going to go pretty big in one of my best sports on a conference Saturday. These are pretty much the days for me. I mean, you can look at some of the other sports certainly, but this is supposed to be some of the easiest targets. Head on over to Tony'sPicks.com and use the promo code TonyT at checkout. Save 20% off all premium pick packages, including mine on Saturday. Click on the All Cappers tab. You'll find all the handicappers there. Click on the handicapper of your choice, and that's how you get signed up. See my records there right now and how I've been performing so far. One of the most consistent winners here at Tony'sPicks.com. We got lots of good handicappers here. You can check out Handicapper Leaderboard 2.0 and see all those records. But mine are right here where it shows you I'm up 13.5 units in college basketball. Also showing profit in the NBA and NHL since the 1st of January. And take a look at my packages here today. NBA 5-pack. I'm already ready to go tonight in the NBA. I'm going to give you more winners here up and down the network, but also got a 5-pack in college basketball this afternoon, a 7-pack this morning. Get started off right away. Hey, look, you might have your winners. You did your handicapping. We're going to go over some picks here together, but not just my opinions in your pocket. And it goes to, well, support me, and the plays are profit guaranteed. Meaning, if I don't show a profit, heaven forbid, you'll get credits back to your Tony's account. You can use them on another handicapper, or come back with me tomorrow or another day. But I'm guaranteed to I'm guaranteed to profit. I'm guaranteed here at Tony'sPicks.com. You can click on the Premium Picks tab as well and find all of our premium picks there, 3-packs, 5-packs, 7-packs from our team of handicappers today over at Tony's Picks. There they are. Gene's loaded today. I'm up there with my packages. Tony T's got a 3-pack. Doubles is up there as well. You see his package in there. Daniel as well. And Ben Ruhala, he's ready to go. And of course, on the pick ticker, you see some of the picks here to the right. You can always click on the upcoming tab and see the next games up. You see Ron, he's ready to go right here in 11 minutes in German Bundesliga action, followed by all those other games as well today, including I see Sean Dinwiddie in there, Latifa with college basketball picks as well. Use that promo code Tony T at checkout to save 20%. And again, it goes maybe to support me as well here on the channel. So I'll keep coming back. And hey, anybody can host this show. It's all about the chat all-stars, including the Salty Fly guy here today. And what did I have? Oh, I cooked last night. It was a slow night. We today we'll order. Last night was a little slow, so we have time to cook a little bit. Gerardo coming out. She's ready to go here. Fernando's here today as well, and a few more. I see Lazzy Love here today, and Jeff is here. See if we can get him picked up. He's been crushing college, and then NHL and NBA is trying to step it up. Okay, we'll see what we can do. We did have some winners here, I know, on the show in the NBA. I thought we did pretty well yesterday. And we get ready to start the show with the NBA. So just want to mention we did have some winners here yesterday on the show. I lost my only premium play. I think I got hooked in there in the under with Orlando and Memphis. Ended up, I believe, just sneaking over. That was my only NBA premium. But we had winners here on the show. Dallas, Atlanta over, go figure, with Luka's huge night. Then we had the Houston Rockets on the road last night. We also had show winner here, Oklahoma City Thunder. We had the Cavaliers here on the show, and we had the under in Portland and San Antonio for a 5-3 night in the NBA. Let's go to it and get started. No time to waste. Maybe there'll be just picks. Maybe there'll be some notes. Maybe there'll be some trends, but I don't know if we'll have time for all that today. Let's get started with our NBA coverage. And well, yeah, maybe we could have skipped this one, but we're going to wait. We're going to go all the way through at least to March or April with all the NBA games, I think. Maybe tournament time or something. We might have to cut it down. Who knows? But let's talk about it with the Wizards here going up against the Pistons in this one. Well, not two of our best teams, certainly two of the worst, but maybe there's money to be made here in this one with two teams sharing just 12 wins between them so far this season. So doesn't feel like the best overall game to go with. You see the total here, 243. It seems like these bad teams, though, actually have trouble reaching the numbers sometimes. Maybe it is just inept offenses. In fact, this total's all the way dropped down to 240.5 right now. You knew it would. I knew it would. Probably should have checked that one out. But who wants to get on this game here? Talking about the Pistons, a 3-point favorite was as low, I believe, as 2 or so, but that total definitely was 243 coming into this one. Washington's back on a losing streak again, but hey, the Pistons Well, they don't have a winning streak, but they've won their last game. They beat the Charlotte Hornets and they covered the number. And they've had a little bit of time off to get ready for this one. Meanwhile, for Washington, their last two games, they failed to cover as underdogs, of course. Washington, though, 13-8-2 on the road against the spread. Pistons have been covering, though, of late, been doing a nice job here. And a little bit of new, Pistons personnel news is Cade Cunningham. It looks like he will be probable in this game today. That's good news for the Pistons. And maybe we just get a few comments and move on. I don't know if it's of utmost importance, but we want to find winners here. I was looking at the total, of course. Let's see anything here. Hey, Jamal. Nice to have Jamal here today. Good morning, sir. Good to see you. Thomas on Detroit. Moneyline Mills on Detroit. And Jamal on Detroit. It's all Detroit except for Rich. He says Washington and over. Washington's gone under in 4 of their last 5. They've also gone under in 6 of their last 7 on the road. Ari's on the Pistons. The series has gone under in 9 of the last 13 meetings between these two teams. You see that total dropping. And, I would think if you think of these two teams, you might, consider it an over. But right now it does seem like it's starting, like I said, when you get 2 bad teams, it just seems like they're still inept offensively to a certain extent. Yeah, there's no defense, but you need swift and good offense. All right. Definitely, I'm going to go with the under here in this one at 240. I'll just call it 240 or so now. Missed out on maybe 3 points or so here. Pistons up to that 3-point favorite. I see, talking about a little bit. Ari says take the Pistons here. Justin says, are they going to win 2 straight games, right? Hey, they're favored to do so. And with this being an early game, I was thinking maybe we could just we could get on the side here. I think I do favor the Pistons to win and cover this game. So, all right. I do want to take a double play in this one and just start the morning off here with a show double play. I've got a 5-pack in the NBA already, and I don't know if I'm willing. Actually, I got 6 plays in the NBA tonight. That's, I believe, probably my hottest Saturday of the season. But now that football's all winding down, we're ready to roll in the hoop in February, especially. So I'll take the double play here and give me the Pistons. I'll lay 3 points, and I'll take the under. I think I prefer under a little bit more. Mark's reviews here. And Lassie has a play. All right. Trey with under. Hey. All right. Let's get to some better games here. We got a long way to go. Heat and Knicks. We're going to go kind of fast, though, certainly. So forgive me if we're not, rattling off 20 trends and a bunch of injuries. We'll try to get to all the injuries, certainly, here. But with the Heat and the Knickerbockers, Hartenstein questionable, Kevin Love probable, Jaquez probable here today. And the Knicks are favored in this one by 5, maybe in pretty decent position here, considering some of their success right now. And just got to wonder what's going on with the Heat. This is a national television. I believe they've got they've got several games on national TV today. It starts with this one, and probably doesn't come at the best time for the Heat and their bad streak right now. And just got to wonder what's wrong with the Heat. Are they broken? Can they fix it? Is it, personnel related? Coach just signed a new contract. They start losing a little bit after that. They won at first, but the Knicks are 12-7-1 at home against the spread, and they've been covering spreads of late too. They've won a bunch of games in a row. They're the hot team. So you got hot Knicks and cold Heat. That's certainly that's not always the case when it comes to these two teams. This total has gone up for sure. I'm looking at 218, 218 and a half right now, but there has been a little bit of take back here on the Heat. I'd say the number is pretty much 4.5 here at this point, and that total has gone up. I don't know. I mean, what are they really expecting here from these two teams, and why is that total continuing to rise from the Sharps here? I don't know if I necessarily agree with this, but nobody asked me. I just get on here and make the call. Let's see if you guys are ready to roll on some of this because I don't believe what I'm seeing now. I know some of these low totals. Yeah, I got a little nicked up yesterday on that premium pick. It should, can't say it should have stayed under. I mean, it was a low number, 213 or whatever, and it got to 214 or something like that. But does seem like, the under games, these type of games that we're seeing, right? Especially talking about all the scoring, but you see when the total is under like 220 or so, it's always going under or at least more flirting with staying under than sometimes on a 235, 240-ish, 240, some of these crazy, the game can get stuck in 220 and it never gets there. I don't think we're really seeing many situations where the games that are rated 220 and below end up at 235 and go, well, what happened here? No, it doesn't ever seem to happen that way right now, right? It's might be a coin flip because of it's supposed to be all games are coin flips to a certain extent. That's why we're supposed to handicap them. So I hope that made sense, but that's why I kind of want to be on the under here, especially if we're getting a little bit of cushion now. I mean, this one was as low, believe it or not, points bet yesterday when they first started to release these games, about 18 hours ago, but it was as low as 213 and a half. And you want to go over in a Heat Knicks game with the Heat not doing anything right now? I do give you guys credit though, taking the Heat. I'm not necessarily ripping on that. I'm giving out the total here, but Heat here for Solo. Rich says the Heat bounce back. They got it right. When can the Heat? I mean, they should be the team to find it. If any spot also right, you're playing the Knicks. Maybe this would be that time. But right now, the long losing streak. Teams have met once already this year. Knicks won 198. They did not cover the spread in that one. Rich likes the under. Moneyline Bill says, I mean, now, come on. Knicks are hot, hot, hot right now with this winning streak, 5 in a row, right? And they have won 5 of the last 6 games at home against the Heat. The Knicks have also gone 5 under in 7 straight games. Should I mention a little bit of trends anyway? 5 straight unders at home as well. Miami's gone under in 7 of their last 8 games. Miami's gone under in 8 straight on the road. And this one has gone up 5.5 points. So maybe the Sharps are right. Maybe the guys maybe it's going to be a 225 game or something. But please, I mean, I'm already the Heat and the Knicks. I mean, we could take this one back to 1992 or something when 186 points or something. All right, I'm taking the under. I'm sorry. Until the Heat, also, we got to see something from the Heat. Ari says, look at this. Should be 9. Should be 9 right now. There does seem, what is the dysfunctionality right now of the Heat? If they are the team that they're supposed to be, they should be able to fix it. I mean that because they are supposed to have what I would consider elite coaching, so things should be fixed, but whatever's going on here has not been a good look. All right, let's get to the big game of the day. Of course, talked about the big national TV situation here today. We're going to have the rematch. We just saw these teams meet a couple of nights ago, well 10 days ago or so, but 76ers and Nuggets. Those Nuggies favored in this one by 5.5 now I'm seeing in 228, but definitely a little bit of a move to the Nuggets. It's interesting because Philadelphia, and Yeah, they've kind of been the same type of program. I mean, Embiid, you think about it, Embiid's actually been there for quite a while now. I mean, this program is what it is, despite a little bit of change and turnover a little bit through these years. But frankly, and even though Philadelphia only comes in here once a year, so the two meetings between the two teams, but like I'm trying to explain, Embiid's been there in a while, or for a while, but Philadelphia does very, very well in this series in general, despite. Last game certainly 126, 121. Philly did win and get the money. I conclude it like that as well because Philadelphia has covered 12 of the last 14 meetings here in Denver. That's, 10 and a half years of games. So that's not all Joel Embiid, maybe half that or so, right? But Philadelphia on a roll as well. They've won 6 of their last 7. They're a terrific cover in situations like this. They're a terrific cover in general. We've talked about it. But the Nuggets are really solid covering the number at home. Denver, they have won 14 of their last 19 games at home, and uh, uh, 16 of their last 20 at home, 14 of their last 19 overall. But Denver's been giving some back against the number here of late. Philadelphia 27-16 against the spread this season, but just 5-6 against the spread as an underdog. Denver. Certainly not the best against the spread. They're usually caught up laying a bunch of numbers at home that they have trouble covering. This might not be one of them, but you're still laying numbers to one of the best teams in the league and one of the best point spread teams in the league. Denver's off a decided loss to the New York Knicks, 122-84. They got blown out in that one, but that was the end of a long, long road trip for the Nuggets, so maybe you want to cut them a little bit of slack. Hey, Gerardo, goal, Atalanta, goal. Atalanta has scored here as promised from our man Gerardo. He's got us covered. I mean, he is our soccer handicapper, and he'll be in there today, I'm sure. Popping plays all day long, if you will. Can I say that? I don't think he had anything on my Sholos last night. We'll take the home draw 1-1. How'd we do, Gerardo? I think that's an okay result last night in their game. We'll take the 1-1 draw. All right, keep it going here. 76ers and Nuggets. I'm taking the Sixers, by the way, if this line's going to keep going up. Philadelphia doesn't seem to worry too much about where they are, home or away. They just seem to cover numbers. Now, they have failed to cover in 3 straight games. 2 of them, they were laying some big, big points to the Spurs and the Hornets. Let's get your comments on this one. Here, Jim Pritchett, hello, my friend. Good to see you. He's ready. Hey, of course, we get Jim in here because you know what? We're ready for baseball. We're just getting close. My Padres will open up the season. I've heard Tony talk about it several times already on the drive-through. And hey, they'll open up against the Dodgers in South Korea. And hey, you know what? The Dodgers aren't necessarily going to be the home team in that series. I'll tell you. You might think Dodgers International, the Padres are but remember the Padres, they've got Korean players on their team, and maybe they'll be going up against some of those Japanese players of the Dodgers. There'll be a little bit of a home crowd advantage for the Padres in that series. Watch out. Okay. Anyways, thanks, Jim. Nice to see you. Thomas has Philadelphia in this one, and Jim also, he likes the Sixers with me. Ari's on the over. Dre's on the over. I mean, how can this one not go over, you guys? Now, Denver has gone under in 5 of their last 6 games, but Philly's gone over in 5 of their last 6. And, man, it seems like the Sharps are going over. And it might be a case, who I roll with. And there's been a little bit of drawback here on the under, but this one hasn't moved that much. 229. Maybe it's even moved lower a little bit. Rich says Denver covers at home and revenge for that loss. Moneyline says, yeah, I mean, obviously, this would be if Joker was not scheduled to play. I think the line would even be a little bit higher at this point. But certainly one to look at because he did get hit in the face, but I think he is going to be able to make this game. These two guys really like to play against one another, no doubt about it. There's obviously a huge respect for between those two superstars. Tyrese Maxey's questionable in this one for the Sixers. They seem to have a few more injuries. Marcus Morris questionable. Kenny Lofton Jr. is questionable. Man, his dad was. Imagine his dad. Kenny Lofton Jr.'s dad was he played in the Final Four and the World Series. Excuse me. Kenny Lofton Jr. is a pretty good basketball player, but his dad was a pretty good athlete. Tobias Harris questionable, Mo Bamba questionable, so questions abound a little bit here for Philadelphia. Maybe that's what you're seeing on this line move too. Here, a little bit of Jokic probable and a little bit of problems with Philly here. I'm still going to grab these points with Philly today. Denver does have some key players on the injury report that looks like they're going to play, but still some significant names, including Jamal Murray, reportedly battling some injuries. Are on the injury report, and that's exactly what Rich is saying as well. So here comes Doubles with some stuff here, and got Rich Stubbs says let's wait on that injury report. All right. And Johnny here. Yeah, in fact, you know what? It's a good point because I think they've actually talked about Embiid conditioning sometimes. Certainly he's in the best condition of his career. A player, despite his superstar status and, his penchant for playing in big games has had some health effects, I believe, when playing at altitude. Good point. Here's Johnny Walker here. And Bird says, look at this under, talking about the fatigue, kind of like you guys are there. So, all right. Jim says, hey, Gino, nice to see you. And Matt, will this be the finals preview? Maybe, but man, we're going to talk about the Celtics here in a few moments. They're insane right now, obviously. And what a matchup. Who's going to take on those teams at this point, in the East, right? Okay. Anyways, I'll take the Sixers. Let's continue on with the Rockets going up against the Nets. Not a great game here, but Rockets on the road getting some points from the sad sack Nets. They can't seem to get it together right now. Brooklyn falling to 17-27. Seems like they can't get anything right at this point. Can the Brooklyn Nets? But here for the Nets, they do come in having covered in that last game. They lost 3 in a row, but they got the money against Minnesota at home as a dog. Rockets come in here, beat Charlotte in their last game and covered as well. They beat up on them actually by 35 points on the road. 34 points on the road as a 5-point favorite. So Rockets have been doing a pretty good job here of late, but Brooklyn might be, could they finally win one? Do they have an opponent they can finally beat here in this one? I don't know. Total here, 219.5. We have one of those. Now I'm showing it now up to 220.5, and that makes more sense to me. I don't know if I see this one as one of those crazy lows, and maybe I do trust this move to go over here actually with Houston and Brooklyn. After all, Houston has gone over in 7 of their last 10 games, and both of their last 2 games have gone over considerably. Their game against Portland went for 268 points in a loss. So let's see here with the Rockets on the road and the Nets. Maybe the totals for me here in this one, but not one of the better games. What do you guys have at the chat? We've got Nets here because maybe with the back-to-back situation, the Rockets coming off the win on the road against Charlotte last night, as we mentioned, and maybe it's going to be a little bit too much. And Rich is on the Nets, and Jim says he's going under. Uh-oh. System play. They like the Nets. They like the Nets. Chino's on the Nets. Trey doesn't know what to do. All right. Well, Houston's gone over in 5 of their last 7 games. The Rockets 5-1 against the spread. Last 6 against the Nets. Teams only meet twice a year. Houston's just 2-8 against the spread in their last 10 games. That has to be considered because they are not playing as well as they once were. Maybe it's starting to catch up to them a little bit. They're just 7-12-1 against the spread on the road, and for all the Nets' woes, for all the Nets' problems, they're still 13-7-2 against the spread at home. How bad have they been on the road? They're 4-15-1 against the spread in their last 20 games, yet are still 6 games over 500 against the spread at home. The Nets have lost 7 of their last 8 games, including 5 of their last 6 games at home, and show no interest playing Western Conference opponents. 2-11 straight up in their last 13 games against West teams. So maybe I was leaning to Houston a little bit. I'm not sure we're going to have any. Well, I think my premiums are locked in here to a certain extent, but I'm going to take the over in this one with the Rockets and the Nets tonight. Give me the over. It's already gone up to 20.5. Jim, prayers up to you, and hope you and your family are doing well. Thank you so much for sharing your news and stopping by today. Well wishes from everyone here. Justin on the Rockets today. And I'm kind of agreeing, but I'm just reserving. This will probably just be in pocket for me. And we'll continue on with the game between the Jazz and the Hornets. Jazz are going to get some real respect now. Imagine that. Imagine the Jazz. Yeah, we're playing the Hornets, but the Jazz are 10-point favorites on the road. It shows you how far they've come. Total here, 234-ish. This one is on the way down. No doubt about it. Low, low, low. How low can you go? I feel like it's going to go low, don't you? But, man, I thought the Jazz would crush them. But, man, can you really lay 10 points here with the Jazz on the road? I'd rather do that than take it, I think. The Jazz are, I mean, you look at where the two – if you want to take a road favorite that kind of covers some road spread, the Jazz are doing it. Now, they're underdog. They were underdogs so often in that streak. Maybe their road spread record's kind of tough to quantify, but they've covered 8 of their last 10 overall. They're also 8-2 against the spread as a favorite. Charlotte is really crummy against the spread. 2-7-1 in their last 10 games. Look, this one's going under, I would think. I almost wanted to go premium in this one, but I really think it's going to be less than 230 points here. Yeah, these teams have produced a few overs here and there, certainly of late, but they're not super over teams, if you know what I mean. All right, for the Hornets, 15-26 against the spread overall, 7-11 against the spread at home. We're not going to use. They're always open. I don't know. Atalanta here 2-0 now in this one. They've just added a goal here in injury time in the first half. Atalanta 2-0 over Udinese. All right. Charlotte's gone 2-9 against the spread in their last 11 games. They've lost 17 of their last 20 games overall. They've lost 8 of their last 9 at home. So we know all that's going on. They have gone over in 4 of the last 5 meetings between these two infrequent opponents. Utah has covered five. I'm sorry here. They've won 10 of the last 11 meetings between these two teams. Now, they are a considerable favorite, but they've covered 4 of their last 5 on the road. They were on a 3-game losing streak before they beat the Hornets. They're also 13-5 straight up in their last 18 games. All right. See if your comments in here on this one. Maybe not as exciting for you guys this game, huh? Maybe Jim likes the over in this game. And Thomas says, the Hornets are just in rebuild mode. But, once the Jazz gets the lead. Here's Dre says Jazz and under. I feel like I just can go this, I feel like it's the safe route, taking the under. But I think the Jazz will smash. But I just feel like, they really should smash, you guys. I want to do a double play. I mean, I don't think I'm going to do any more premiums here. This one's getting away. It's going to be a double play, Jazz and under. My late night double play on the show here. I'm with me and Dre. See, remember yesterday I was like, I can't believe Dre and we are disagreeing on this game. I'm going to agree right here, Jazz and under. We're not, we're laying 10 points. It's a free play on a YouTube pick show. Proceed with caution. But I'll be playing that. I'll be playing it. Like I said, I play the landscape. You guys may even play more than I do. I'm a public handicapper. I'm playing my games, but I'm playing a lot of games. Here's Teresa. Hello, good morning. I love that. Is that like a sunrise? The sunrise. I saw you do that. What was I looking at? All right. Hey, another good one here. You want to talk about finals preview, you guys? Come on. Sixers and Nuggets. What about the Clippers and the Celtics? My Clippers. Could they finally win the NBA championship? Well, look, we know we got to go through the West and all that in Denver and maybe a few others, but they're going to get a big chance here to play the hottest team. There maybe are some teams that are just as hot, but when you look at the Celtics right now, you can make fun of them. I know that we want to be critical of, their superstar pretty much playing at the best level of his career right now, undoubtedly. With the Celtics here favored even against these red hot Clippers. They're going to be a big favorite in this one today. And well, I don't know. It feels like, is it really 7.5? Maybe I was sleepwalking when I typed these in because it opened as low as 5.5, but now we're up to 7.5 here. Maybe that's getting a little too high even for me. I wanted to go with the Celtics, but I would imagine it's going to be a pretty good game. I imagine this Clippers with the kind of roll they're on right now are going to be not one to, let this game kind of slip away here. You kind of wish this was the one of those ABC games today, the way they're playing. Clippers certainly on a roll right now with a 4-game winning streak, covered in all 4 of those games. They just won at 20 points at Toronto, laying 7. Boston with a 3-game winning streak right now, looking sharp, 13-8 against the spread at home. Clippers just 1-7 against the spread as an underdog. Clippers 1-7 against the spread as an underdog this season. All right, see if we got a few more things we can look at in this one, but we'll take some of your plays here, I think, tonight. You see the total there, 232.5. That's down, I believe, from 234-ish. 234.5, 235.5 at Open Bet Online, and we're all the way down here to 232.5 between two teams that certainly can put up some points. It might be a pretty sharp move, actually, it feels like. Take a look and see what's happened here since we've been on the air. Feels nothing really as far as a hot action. You know me and the hot action. I'm always ready to rumble when I see something. But hey, Timmy Tushu, thank you for your pick in the men's final tonight. We did see Arena Sabalenka win the women's final. Thank you, Timmy. Probably should have dropped that in there in the open myself, not you, Timmy. You're welcome to comment at any time, but I just think I put our tennis coverage right smack in the middle of the basketball. But good point. I didn't mention it, and great match for Sabalenka. Caught a few minutes. It looked like in control. Didn't even see the end, unfortunately. Had to grab a few hours for our big day today. Now let's get this game going. Thank you, Steven. Right. Yeah, they're starting to take big time money. I kind of wish that the Clippers would win the Hey, you need superstars now. So, I'm kind of a glutton for punishment. I liked the bad Clippers too. But I don't mind having a rich owner. Okay. Rich Stubbs, Clippers and under. Dre, Clippers and under. We know what you meant, my friend, on that with 7.5. Timmy said take Medvedev in that match. Clippers, of course, yes, on the back-to-back. We did have Clippers. I liked Toronto in that game last night, quite frankly, but I thought it would be a look-ahead situation. So maybe, that could be reason enough to come back on Boston here today. That's what I'm probably going to do, actually. I think I've got to feel like this is a serious move now. Clippers got a win last night. Gino says, Clippers, if no injuries. Yeah, could be a situation where, no, I think Zubats has been out for over a week. Nothing there for the Clippers. Porzingis so downgraded to doubtful here, but the line continues to go up a little bit. Interesting. Justin on the Clippers. Thank you, Joseph, for stopping by today. I'll lay these extra points here against my Clippers. Celtics on an absolute roll. I hope the Clippers can go in there, but I think if I got it wrong last night, and they were able to go in and get that win in Toronto, what I thought would be a look ahead. Now, granted, you can win one and win the other as well, but kind of do play it that way sometimes. And the fact the move is on the Celtics, despite the KP injury, I'll respect the market here and take the Celtics. Pelicans and Bucks in this one. The Pelicans, man, talk about impressive. The Pelicans continue to impress right now and come in here as an underdog against the Bucks, who are, well, let's just call it like it is. They're going through some restructuring. Now, the Pelicans did lose in blowout fashion against Oklahoma City, but I just really like the position that they're in right now and the way that the Pelicans are looking. They're 25-19 against the spread. They're going up against the Bucks team that they're terrible against the spread right now and not very good at home either. And they're going to be laying points here in a situation that I probably feel pretty comfortable with, maybe leaning toward the Pelicans. But I'm going to look to the total. I think in this one, the Bucks play these high-scoring games. It seems like quite frequently at home. They are 16-9 to the over at home, 27-18 to the over overall this season. But I'm probably going to end up going over here with the Pelicans and the Bucks at 241 or so, one of the highest totals here of the night. But again, I think you got two teams that are producing some overs of late. And I'm giving the Pelicans probably a big chance here to go in and maybe win this one. It always hasn't been a great trip for the Pelicans. In fact, they've lost 8 of the last 10 meetings between these two, but the Pelicans are one of the hottest road teams in the league right now, having won 8 of their last 10 games on the road. 7 straight meetings between these two teams in Milwaukee have gone over. Now that's once a year basically, but definitely going to factor that in a little bit into this one. Milwaukee right now has gone 1-6 against the spread in their last 7 games. Talk about some of their woes. They've won 6 of their last 8, so usually caught up laying a few too many points. And I'm sure I don't know if the points will even come into play here. Or maybe this is going to be a toss-up game, quite frankly, right now. I want to see Milwaukee. I'm gonna put the stock down on Milwaukee now, and I'm not saying, look, they're still that 30-13 team or whatever they are now. A 1-1 since they've played that back-to-back against Cleveland, of course, and maybe the fact the Bucks did play yesterday. We had the Cavaliers on the show, but I'm gonna be looking at the over here in this one. It didn't go over yesterday. Interestingly, between the two teams, I talked about how the second game of those back-to-backs when the teams play each other are going over at a pretty strong rate, quite frankly. But nonetheless, I thought the game was going to be headed over under last night with the Cavaliers and the Bucks. Just played it in pocket. I'm not going to sit here and gloat about any winners I didn't tell you about, but tonight I would think over. Rich Dubs, though, Pelicans and under. Here's Dre with me and Dre. Me and Dre were, hey, Dre. All right.
Final.
Yep. The Zion train is not coming our way tonight, and that's probably the indication here of the maybe of the spread. I'm listing him as questionable. I'm gonna give him a chance to be in here tonight, certainly, but that is the current report. And Jeff, our Milwaukee correspondent, talking about Adrian Griffin, and you can't bring your problems to work ever, right? I think we all know, maybe we've all learned a lesson or two, no matter what our problems are, whether it be family, health, anything, it can affect everything that you do. All right. Buxton over here for Fernando. He has Zion out of this game. I just need a little bit more information. I'm willing to roll with you guys on that injury report. I'll stop talking about my affinity maybe for New Orleans, but like I said, I'm giving him a chance to be in there tonight. The spread to me indicates that that questionable tag is okay. All right. Let's go here next. Timberwolves and the Spurs in this one. Hey, the Spurs are having fun out there, no matter how you look at it. Man, they look loose, don't they? They're a fun team to watch. I don't care about the record a little bit. Sometimes they seem to be able to compete in some certain situations in games that they're expected to be contentious, and they're coming off the win, of course, last night against Portland. Maybe because it was a standalone game, I got caught up watching them a little bit with some of their antics, and they look pretty good against Portland. But hey, they've been covering spreads, and that's what we're looking for here, right? Here they are getting a dozen points or so, 10.5 right now from Minnesota, and the total at 227 in this one. Hey, the Spurs will, don't mind getting involved in some high-scoring games. It feels like with teams like the Timberwolves, and sometimes it actually works out in their favor. The Spurs kind of show a penchant. It's almost like the Minnesota too, with some of their spread situations, right? They get out to leads. They're a pretty good team. They're not some team that's putting teams away. And then here comes old backdoor Spurs kind of getting down a little bit with some of their top players in. Minnesota still can balance their roster a little bit, how good they are with leads. And then all of a sudden you have, here comes San Antonio, a team that's covered 5 of the last 7 meetings against the Spurs, even though the Wolves have won 4 out of the last 5 between the two teams. Now, Minnesota, interestingly, 4-13 in their last 17 games against San Antonio. And remember, these two teams play, more frequently than others, certainly. So the Spurs, that trend kind of encompasses, yeah, sure, we're at a peak for Minnesota, but they've still had some of the same guys in here. It hasn't been a great matchup. It's actually been a bit of a bad place for the Timberwolves. Now, granted, they're great. The Spurs have lost 15 of their last 5, but they've covered 5, like I said, covered 4 of their last 5 right now. Despite losing all these games at home, they're just usually getting enough points. They're already 10-3 against the spread this month. So I'm going to take the Spurs here tonight. I'm sure the Wolves will win, probably by single digits or so. I'm gonna, even on the back-to-back, I'm going to take the Spurs here to hang in there tonight. Thomas says he doesn't trust them to cover the spread. And, we haven't really even talked about Wemby in quite a while and my affinity for him, right? I mean, again, what I said about kind of some of his rookie numbers and everything, I mean, really, we take it for granted at this point. And, yeah, they don't win any games, and maybe Pop taking this thing too slowly. Maybe they should try to win more instead of learn. Do they really make a choice when it comes like that? But he's doing some special things that certainly would put him among the best players of all time eventually, I would think, for this dude, quite frankly. Futon Betts here. Hello, nice to see you. So even though he does some, he tries a little too hard, right? The backdoor behind the back bounce pass, probably can leave that out a little bit. Here's Wolves and under, though. Hey, Fernando and I, we're in agreement a lot here. Not so much. Thank you, my friend. You're doing a great job as always.
Final.
Appreciate you very, very much. All right, a couple more here. NBA, Lakers, and Warriors. We saw the Warriors here of late. Hey, what's going to happen in this one? They're favored now against the Lakers, so got to be some injury concerns here for the Lake Show. Let's take a look at what's going on right now. Of course, I mean, there could be other concerns for the Lakers and their inconsistent play. They're winning, they're losing, they're winning, they're losing. The Warriors, though, that was a thrilling game against the Kings a couple of nights ago. We said it would be. Right now, for the Lakers, let's see what this report says. I don't think it's all bad news here, is it? Both guys questionable here in this one. Talking about LBJ and AD, of course, and Cam Reddish out. So you know how it is on the Saturday nights. I mean, I'm not kidding. The Lakers, we might not get the full injury disclosure on these guys until just a couple of hours before the game. I don't even think Bovada has the game up right this second. The Warriors are terrible against the spread at home, no matter how you look at it. They're 7-14-3 against the number, and now you want them to come in here and beat the Lakers. Lakers are 6-15 straight up on the road. So, you're going to ask them to come in and beat a Warrior. They're one of their rivals, certainly. The Warriors rival. I mentioned it last night when they're talking about the King, or 2 nights ago, talking about the Warriors and the Kings, right? The Kings, the Warriors are the Kings' rival, but the Warriors they look at the Lakers as their rival. So here in this one, might be just a matter of taste when it comes down to it, and if you can stomach it, laying the couple of points with the Warriors. They've lost 5 of their last 7 games right now. Their wins were against Atlanta and Chicago. Definitely not playing too great of late, but they have covered a few of these games. They did cover against Milwaukee, getting double digits, but you're asking them to win here. For the Lakers, they've covered 4 of their last 6 games. Currently, as an underdog, they're just 4-13 against the spread this season. They are 7-2 against the spread their last 9 games against the Warriors. However, 13 of the last 14 Lakers games on the road have gone over. But look at this total, right? 243 now. It's not 241 and a half anymore if you can find it. Like I said, one prominent book has taken it down for the time being. I don't think we've learned anything here this morning about the injury status, but I just mentioned the total right here because uh, the opening number yesterday on this game, and yes, it does just by the sound of it, and maybe some of the generalities of the way the teams are playing, it feels like a massive over in this game, and I'm sure it will flirt with this number maybe eventually. But PointsBet yesterday afternoon opened this game around 236 and a half. And now you're talking about, yeah, by the mid afternoon, FanDuel had it at 238 and a half. And then it was as low as 237 and a half last night at SIA out of Canada. And now you're looking at 243. So maybe they're going to just drop these bombs all game long. I don't trust it, even though you have two teams there. The Warriors have gone over in 8 of their last 10. The Lakers have gone over in 15 of 21 road games. The Warriors have gone over in 16 of 24 home games. So these two teams definitely go over. Mentioned Lakers, 13 of the last 14 over on the road. 4 of the last 5 meetings between the two teams here have gone over, and the Warriors have gone over in 7 of their last 8 at home. But I don't think the number's just gone too high for my comfortability level. All right. Maybe, what can you say? Here's Justin wants the Warriors on the money line. Dre says over. Here's Rich, Lakers and over. Rich says, yep, total going up, up, up. And Fernando might lean under here. He's starting to think maybe what I was saying, huh? Maybe. And you guys are talking about some of these stars that might not play today. Gerard talking about Wemby in that game, certainly. Not playing in some of these back-to-backs, no doubt about it. So this one's going to be the tough one, the wait and see. Right, feels like the wait and see type of game today, but I don't know. To me, bookmakers they're that slow? I guess they say, hey, we'll just open at 236 because nobody's going to want the over in this game where the Lakers and the Warriors of all teams. I'll take the under in this one. I'll be contrarian here and just say the rent's gone too high. And finally, the Kings and the Mavericks. How will it work today with Luka coming off the 73-point performance? Obviously, you'd think under immediately, right? Would you? Or would you be, oh, hey, Luka, 73 last night. Maybe he'll roll again tonight against the Kings team. I mean, I don't know how you might want to look at these two teams. There's always going to be that contrarian feel to it, right? That you want to fade the guy who just scored 70, that certainly, the other team will clamp down or whatever they'll do. But I don't know. It doesn't seem like there's anything stopping these two teams from continuing some of this. These overs. These two teams have had some overs here, certainly, of late with the Kings and the Mavericks. The Kings are kind of an under team for sure, especially on the road. They're 7-14 to the under, but we've seen the Kings with a big score in that Warriors game. It kind of has the appearance of a game like this. And their last several games had some big scores. The game against Indiana, another high-scoring team, was a 244.5, and that one went for 247. Game against Milwaukee was a 245, and that one went for 285. And game against Phoenix had a 245, but only went for 236. These are just recent totals of Kings games. The Kings have gone under in 5 of the last 6 trips here into Dallas. Dallas has gone under in 8 of their last 12 games, and 9 of the last 12 games between these two teams have gone under. They played once already this year. It did stay under. Sacramento won here in Dallas, 129-113, getting 1.5 points in that one. They won the game. It went under. I don't know if this is going to go under tonight. But I think I'm probably going to head with the side here in this one. Look, it seems like the Sharps love the Kings here. I just don't see any way the Sharps. I mean, it's already up to 2.5. Is it 3? It is 3 at a lot of locations. There were 3 minus 15. Could it be that Luka is going to be the one that's resting tonight? Have you guys already said it in the chat and I haven't even seen it? Kyrie Irving is listed as questionable. I think he's getting close here, it feels like, to his return, but a little bit startling. You know, that number continues to go up on the Kings. Maybe there's a little bit of public perception about, you know, shutting down Luka, not playing. What's going to happen? And here's Justin on the Kings money line. Rich says Dallas and over. Matt says, did he party after that one? I don't know. Lucas seems like a pretty humble guy. Did you guys see? You know, funny. He went on the show with Charles and Shaq and Kenny and hung out with them. And then the next, when they were in Atlanta, he was on there the night before on that Thursday night game in the studio, and then he went out and had a monster game in Atlanta. Most points ever scored by an NBA player in the city of Atlanta, a city that Dominique Wilkins played in. It was a pretty prolific scorer. Over for Dre, we know 73 points, but Rich says Kings no good on the road. Ramon, you know that. Well, maybe. There's no doubt. I mean, they're 11-10 straight up, but 13-7-1 against the spread on the road. Now, I know that they're getting points a lot of times, and their record as a favorite is 15-17-1. You know, as an underdog, they're 8-2 against the spread. The Kings are. So that's where usually getting points on the road, they're usually in a little better spot. Laying it, I don't know. I'm going to take 3 points with Dallas. Hope Luka's in, and hope Kyrie makes it, even though maybe I am a reverse chemistry guy with Kyrie. I am. All right, that's it for the NBA. Thank you, Poppy, for your MMA action today, and that might be our MMA coverage this week, considering the UFC is off here. And what happened to our golfers yesterday with our golf coverage? I made a funny tweet. Well, I may just pat myself on the back when I make funny tweets, but I was thinking about it when I looked at the leaderboard for the Farmers Open, the Farmers Insurance Open, a tournament that I've been to many times, and certainly walked that course, even if my legs didn't approve. But looked at the leaderboard with these guys, right? Jaeger, Hogard, Pavone, Detry, Crow, Highsmith, Knapp, Montgomery, Pendrith, Ludwig Aberg. He might be the biggest name on there, and he's in 10th place. And you know the old saying that the PGA Tour had, These guys are good. Remember that? These guys are good. They, show all the young golfers. This is probably like 10 or 15 years ago. They started that slogan. Had it for about 10 years. These guys are good. And now my slogan is, who are these guys? They're all on the live tour. Whatever happened to that merger? I guess it's still going. Hey, Dom, you out there? I see you. I just got a notification you're watching, Dominic. All right, let's get. I got college basketball on the mind. Let's roll with big games today. Look, I'm skipping big games. There's so many games. If you like one of those big games, hey, I've got 12 premium picks today. Today's about as good a day as you're going to get if you want to grab my 3-day pass for $79 with the promo code Tony T. It'll get you 12 plays today, maybe more in college basketball. Just my 12 best right now. There's 140 games. I think I put my best in there, so probably not going to preview those games unless you guys crack me on it and catch one of them and want to hear about it. But those games in there today, and I picked some other good ones here. Let's get to it with starting off. And I'm going to put that Steam in there. Steam plays rolling off here every few seconds right now. This last one that just came in, if you want to know, you might have heard it, was on Maine. -6.5. There's a free Steam play here. When I put those Steam plays in there, here's Iowa, Michigan, over just came in some Steam. Stetson just came in some Steam. But I will, first thing, as soon as we get off this show, I'll put a long list of Don Best Steam plays right there in the Discord. You can check them out. Not my plays, just the biggest Steam moves, and when you look at them, you're going to see that you're not going to get those prices anymore. But just know that these are the ones that the sharpest bettors in the world have already moved the line. Said 140 games, going to be a lot of line movement. You might want to know what these games are. You can bet them too. Sometimes they can definitely get on some runs, especially on the added board. I'll mention that when I post that Steam. The added board does seem to run a little bit hotter than the normal way, which makes sense, right? The games that don't get as much attention from the public. All right. Texas Tech and Oklahoma today. We might be on just picks mode here. It feels like with these these games here, with all the games. I definitely looked at my college I'm rolling on 5 pages of college basketball. If you don't think we've done the work, you see the numbers there all on screen. That's how Ramone's old school. Yeah, I've got 4 computers sitting here as well, but I'm a little bit old school. I've got all my numbers written down from my consensus figures. I run mine up against those top major and then take those, balance it out, and then use mine again to go right against it. And that's how I make a lot of calls. And then I look at that Steam and reverse line movement too. So, all right, here we go. Texas Tech and Oklahoma today. Big games all over. And let me see if I can't get set with some of these here and catch up real quick. Give me one moment here. I do want to look at the latest moves as I'm going along here, and it is a huge card, so I've got to kind of scroll up and down and find the games, because this one's getting a lot of action here currently. 3.5, 140.5 right now. Let's update the line. Looks like there's a slight move on Texas Tech. I think that was the way I was looking, but maybe we'll switch it up with a total. If it's gone too far, depends what you like in this one as well. I'm curious. All right. Too many games, you guys. That's what it is. Just not quite queued up with my notes in this one. Probably should take commercial. All right. Obviously, the move here on Texas Tech coming in. This one was as mostly 140s here a little bit, but that 4.5 was on Oklahoma. Maybe they've been the team that's taken a little bit of attention here of late. They've been covering just a little bit better, it appears to me. And here we go. All right. I'm ready now. You guys probably made a few picks in there by the time I get rolling. Oklahoma comes in with a 15-4 record. Texas Tech 15-3 overall. Oklahoma 11-8 against the spread. So far this season, also 8-6 against the spread at home. Oklahoma 3-7 to the under in their last 10 games, but Texas Tech is 3-1 to the over on the road. They're also 11-7 to the over overall this season. And these two teams are meeting for the first time this season. Oklahoma did lose here at home 74-63 in the matchup last season here between these two teams. So we got two top 30 teams, I'd say, here today with Oklahoma. Right now, they coming off a loss here against Texas. They had won 2 in a row before that against West Virginia and Cincinnati, but right now in conference, just a 3-3 record currently for the Sooners, while Texas Tech riding atop the standings with a 4-1 record. That loss to Houston, of course, on the road by 23 points, but conference wins over BYU, Kansas State, Oklahoma State, and Texas. So Texas Tech playing pretty well at this point. Don't know if we necessarily expect them right there right now, but in this conference, man, this is just, we're just getting going. It feels like it's going to be an awesome conference season. I do still favor Texas. I think I'm just going to take a double play in this one. It's not on my premium list. But here's Rich. He likes Texas Tech and over. Here's the Futon bets on Texas Tech. Rich, on my plays, I just list them as plays. I do try to intimate in my write-up, maybe if you might get a feeling if it's stronger, but they really are just picks. It's Tony's picks. It's my picks, but they're picks. They do not have any rating on them, and we grade them as just one unit plays. But I do look for those to be my strongest plays each day. Sometimes a personal play will come up, but I never try to send anything out too late in the cycle. I try to aim for 2 hours, but I do use the late Steam feature on Tony's site now and then to send a play out as early, with even sometimes less than an hour before the game, but that's usually for just the long-term subscribers. Thank you very much for asking, Mr. Rich. Justin, I'm sorry I didn't put it earlier. Maybe I did actually, but your play of the day is this one with Oklahoma. So hey, Justin's going with Oklahoma, and I'll let him. I think I may have mentioned I might not be on that side, but let's roll with. It's his play of the day. I respect our guys on Texas Tech, and I might be with them. Let me just go with the under here as my play. We'll let Justin have his play of the day here, and I'll just, maybe if I go against him, I'll play it in pocket. That's how I feel like I want to run the show. I mean, I got my guys here. I got one of my top guys of this play of the day. I think I'm going to respect it, and our guys can still roll with the Red Raiders. Maybe I was leaning that way, and I'll give the respect to my man, Justin. But I will take the under as my play then in this one. All right. Let's keep it in the Big 10, the Big 12, whatever, Big 14, whatever it is now. Here, what is this? Because you don't know how many teams are in the big number conferences anymore. The Big 10 is the Big 14, right? Okay. BYU here, look, we're running a pretty big number here, actually, with BYU in this one. And, I don't know. I kind of want to think it might be BYU's day here. The total at 150. That doesn't seem, that seems like it might be, oh, gosh. Just starting to get maybe some news here. Let me take a look at something here real quick. No, I'm not going to roll with this just yet. Just some questionable data, questionable players that I'm not really sure. Okay, in pro basketball, let me continue on. Texas and BYU here. Looks like it's one of those where the public might be on Texas, but the money might be on BYU. I always like those situations for the most part. Usually I end up on a favorite like this, laying the points when I see that happening, and the sharps are maybe coming in at a 2-to-1 ratio at this point. It looks like on BYU that might be the direction that I'd be headed in this one. But look at that total at one. Let's get the latest line here now, because I think this one has gone a little bit higher than this, right? 151 at Bovada. I would think this one's going to be a higher scoring game. They might be able to crack that 150, but I'm going to go with BYU here and lay 6.5. Oh gosh, it's 7.5. So okay, I give up. I'll just lay BYU here now. I can't go with them as a premium. My ratings actually have it a little bit higher than this, so that's why I feel pretty confident BYU rolling here in this one. And hey, Mike's got his play of the day, play of the year. Look at this. Mike's got his play of the year. I don't have this. Of course, I didn't preview this game, Mike, but just which Detroit is it, though? Oh, Detroit is football. Okay. I'm not on football. I was thinking basketball. I'm like, Detroit's not getting 7.5. They're getting like 15 points. I mean, of course, I was thinking not about the Detroit Pistons, but of the Detroit Titans. I said, wow, Mike's play of the year is on the Detroit, the worst team in college basketball. I blew it. Okay, Futon bets first half. I think Ari's going over. Justin has a strong lean to BYU. And that might be it for you guys. I'm taking BYU to win this one. Auburn and Mississippi State here. SEC action at 3:30 Eastern and 12:30 Pacific. This is game number 685, 686 with Auburn and Mississippi State. Another one where the tickets are split, but the money's coming in on Mississippi State in this one. And the Sharps really like the under in this one. You would think with these two teams that maybe it would be an under, but feels like the Sharps just leave me hanging in situations like this where maybe I'm relying on them more. Now, like I said, these two teams, if I look at them on the surface, I think under when I see these two teams. But man, let me check the current line here. Auburn, it is 145.5. So maybe it has ticked down just a tad here in this one today. You got Mississippi State 13-6 currently, while Auburn comes in 16-3. Right now for Auburn, they sit atop the standings, tied with Alabama at 5-1. Mississippi State, they're down there at 2-4. Big game, of course, here with Auburn coming off that loss to Alabama for their first conference loss of the season. So they were on a winning streak before that. Auburn's 12-7 against the spread this season. Mississippi State 3-6-1 against the spread in their last 10 games. Here. So how will Broom and the guys do in this one? And what will happen in the SEC today? Everybody in action, of course. So I kind of just want to fade these Sharps, it feels like to me. I don't know about the side, quite frankly. If anything, maybe I'd lean to Auburn. I don't know if I want to lay 3 points on the road right now, though. You see so many of these high-quality teams right now going in and losing games against these unranked teams. So certainly Auburn right now among the top teams in the country. I'm going to end up playing the total in this one. I'm going to fade the Sharps, I feel like here. They clearly want the under. I'm going to go over. here. I'm not even sure I have the data to back it because Auburn's been pretty big under team so far this season. They're 2-6 to the under on the road. Mississippi State certainly has had some unders. The last two games went under decidedly, including their game at home against Vanderbilt, which was 68-55. Granted, they were the 13-point favorite in that one. Comparatively, when they played Alabama at home recently, just 4 games ago, Mississippi State at home against Alabama, certainly the team you would be comparable with right now in the SEC. And we're not talking football, but they lost to Alabama at home 82-74 in that one. And Mississippi State was actually favored by 1 in that one, and they got blown out in a game that went for 156 points. So give me the over in this one, Auburn and Mississippi State. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you guys have, might have left your comment plays behind there. Auburn first half. Justin on Mississippi State. Here's Auburn and over. Mike went under. All right. Let's now I've got TCU and Baylor because I got to do Baylor every show, it feels like at this point. Feels like I want to talk about the Baylor Bears every show. And they're favored here by 5.5. And the total 152, is that right? Game 7-11, 7-12. I'm showing right now 4.5 and 148. Yeah, these lines were typed in quite a while ago. 148, let's call 148.5, I think, in this one. But, boy, that's a pretty big dip for someone, especially like me, who was kind of thinking over here. If we moved into premium territory, then I might have to pivot out of this and end up on the side here with you. Look, I already had my premiums already settled out here in this one, but man, we're starting to see some real pressure here to the under here right now. Look, it's been all pretty hard under actually from the Sharps. They're the one that's kind of driven this one down. They're not really, heavy over teams necessarily, but the move definitely on TCU here in this one. I don't know. Baylor seems to cover a little bit more in situations like this, laying short points at home against a team like TCU. All right. Baylor comes in 14-4. This one's on the deuce today. TCU 14-5 coming into this one. Like I said, you got a Baylor team that's 8-2 against the spread at home. TCU, they get numbers. They've covered 7 of their last 10 games, and they're 2-1 against the spread as an underdog. TCU, they've been favored in most of their games. For Baylor, 11-6 against the number overall. Like I said, with this total, it's just kind of continues to drop on this sharp action. I'm not sure I'm buying it, quite frankly. I think it's setting up I'm going to just go over. I mean, 1 million games. We don't need 1 million premium. We do need more premiums. We really want to crush this board today. But I like the over here, especially if it's going to continue to go down. Look, I respect my Sharps. I mean, I rely on them to clue me in to games. When to be on the big moves, but I want the over here in this one. You look at TCU, they just went under in that game at Oak State, but playing a Baylor team here that they lost that game to Texas. They've lost 2 straight right now. Those were both road games. At home, things go a little bit better for Baylor certainly right now. They clubbed BYU. They didn't cover against Cincinnati, and that was a low-scoring game. But give me the over in this one tonight. And the Sharps are going to like TCU. I don't know if I can do it just yet. I'm going to take the over. All right. Hey, Thurman Hill, good to see you. Hi. All right, I don't know if I see anything from you guys in TCU and Baylor, so let me move on with a nice game here. Arizona and Oregon. We still got to get to hockey, and there's a million hockey games today. Arizona and Oregon here. Arizona on the road, a 4-point favorite in this one. In the wacky 12, the wacky packy 12 here. Who I don't know. I can't call a winner at this point in this crazy conference. The way things are going, this is number 751, 752 with Arizona now a 4-point favorite, and this total has dropped to 157. Probably just give that out because I already missed 3 points, and that's the way I was headed. See, I talk about being a steam chaser. I follow a lot of steam. I'll chase a lot of steam. We'll lose some games chasing some steam. I'm that guy. But we just faded the steam in the last game. This one, I'm chasing it. I'm chasing it probably here with Arizona and Oregon under here. They're not total under teams, uh, that's for sure. But to me, some of the indicators are there that maybe this is going to be under the big number here, especially on the road, right, at Oregon. Uh, I know that maybe Arizona in a few of these road games have ended up going over. Let me take a look at some of these trends just to, I can't really argue for it. This is mostly by the eye test, I think, for me today. And the line movement here is certainly going to trust the Sharps to clue me in here on this one as the totals dropped here. Certainly 3 points off that opener. And even the latest move that kind of come in here again on the under here. Under moves might be running 6 to 1. It feels like to me. So I'm going to end up on the under. It's mostly Arizona that I would trust here to win and cover and keep this one under against Oregon. Oregon is 11-8 against the spread and 4-1 against the spread as an underdog. Arizona coming off that loss to Oregon State. We did have the Beavers in that game against Arizona to cover the big. They were getting 18 points, but remember, it was an 83-80 win. They also lost at Washington State, so there is some vulnerability here in Arizona that might kind of keep me off the Wildcats, but I really actually do kind of like them in this game. I think I prefer them here. Guess there's a system play. I do kind of like them here in this game. Now, Oregon did beat ASU handily by 19 points as 9.5-point favorites. They did lose their road games at Utah and Colorado. This is becoming a more increasingly home team league, but I just favor Arizona here in this matchup. They won the game, the last meeting between the two teams. Arizona won it. It was last year, though, a 15-point victory in that one. Oregon did win here at home 87-68. So I like the under with Arizona and Oregon. I'm not going to play Mr. Smart Guy here necessarily, even though I think I do like Arizona. It's so hard to get on these road teams in the wacky packy, feels like at this point. So just give me the under. Just feel more confident there. Ari will do Arizona. Salty's on Arizona. I want to be on Arizona. Of course I do. But again, these home teams in the Pac-12. Teresa, thank you for your college basketball contributions today. Write these down, screenshot it, do what you want to do with Teresa's plays of the day. Indiana State, Baylor, Hawaii, Jacksonville State. Thank you, Teresa. Awesome. All right. Hey, I've got a big game for you. They're not all big conferences. This is one of the games of the day between the undefeated teams here. Dayton 6-0, Richmond 6-0. This is one of the best games of the day. You better check this one out. It's on CBS Sports Network at 6 p.m. Eastern and 3 Pacific. You have Richmond coming in with that 9-game winning streak right now. You have Dayton coming in, 13-game winning streak. How is this not the game of the day between these two? Yes, that's not the major conferences, but you can't argue with these winning streaks coming in, and both teams undefeated in conference play here in the A10. Third place, by the way, right now, Loyola Chicago at 5-2, but you got Deron Holmes and Jordan King ready to go at it today for these two teams. It's going to be good. Richmond's 10-1 against the spread at home this season. 10-1 against the spread at home this season. Dayton's 5-1-1 against the spread on the road. What you gonna do? Well, Dayton's favored on the road. The A10 might be one bid. I hate to say it, but man, God. No, come on. Both these teams are getting in, aren't they? But man, Richmond, you better win this one, man. You better win this one. You need this one just in case it comes down to something crazy. In the A10. Am I misreading this, you guys? As far as the number of teams that are going to get in from it's going to be close, right? 2 teams, That's why it's going to be the conference championship so important here, and make sure you at least get the wins at home in this series. It feels like now Dayton has gone 2-5 to the under on the road. Richmond's gone under in 7 of their last 10 games. It's usually been a Dayton series, but Richmond was able to get a win here a couple of years ago or at Dayton, but last year's game was won by Dayton at home 86-60, but still this is kind of Richmond has been good in the past, but they weren't that great last year. But they do have a veteran coach that kind of turned them around, and there's nothing wrong with Richmond here and there turning out a pretty good program, and certainly they have one here with this winning streak coming in. They just had that scare against Davidson a couple of games ago, but still were able to get the win. They're 10-0 at home. Mentioned those spread games, but one of them was actually might have been a neutral. The game against their last loss was against Florida back on December 9th. So, all right, this is a great game. Not much for you guys comments-wise. Here's Dayton for Rich Dubs. In this one, I'll make the call here. Man, this steam is really flying in. First game of the day, Georgia, Florida. They just steaming the over here, 160.5, 161. Joseph on the over here in this one. Uh-oh. I might be disagreeing with the chat in this big, big game. I didn't go with a premium, though. I thought it was still pretty tough. Pretty awesome. It feels like pretty awesome game. And maybe that total, what did I say it was? 132.5. Oh, boy. I mean, it was 130, opened as high as 136.5 at FanDuel. I mean, well, that seems like, it's definitely going to be close to this, but I don't know if I like it necessarily over this number even. I think I still like it under. Oh, man. Futon bets. Yeah, I do. I don't think I do in premium action. Let me see. I do have one premium play in the early action, and I will let me add this, okay, you guys. Nebraska. Tony has 6 videos today. One of them is Nebraska and Maryland. Please consider checking out Tony's previews. He's got 6 good games, none of which I'm previewing here. I left it to Tony on some of those. I saw which games he had and decided to go with some other games. So, check those out. And I'm going to roll with that steam also, Futon bets here. Boston College and Notre Dame. That just happens to be my premium pick, sir. So I'm not telling you, to go in there and get it, but you can check my record at the end, or after tomorrow, and see if I hit it. Thank you, my friend. Though it's good. It's always great having you here. All right, can I really go under in this game? I don't know, man. That's a big drop from 136.5. I do prefer the under. I feel like it's going to get real close to this right now. I know I saw Rich, I'm going to take Richmond, though. This is the one. They've got to have this, man. If they're going to have any argument, if they end up losing the conference tournament, they need one win against Dayton for sure, and it still feels like it's going to be a battle. I don't know. I don't do bracketology, but looking at this and hearing, reading the bracketology right now, I think this is an extremely important game for Richmond to have one win over Dayton just in case. All right, Thomas Lewis gave me a play though right there in that early game. How about that? Says Notre Dame, but the move has been on Boston College for sure, if I'm not mistaken. Right, they were 1.5, and they were up to 3, and now maybe I can just peek at it real quick. And you guys are talking about, it's 2.5 or so right now, but the move is on Boston College there, and the total's been rising steadily. It opened 132.5 or so, it looks like. All right. Thank you, Futon Bets. Appreciate your play there as well. So, all right. I do want to try to get more of my information and picks to you. I just here on Tony'sPicks.com, we have my premium picks. That's what I'm promoting, and certainly want to give you some more free picks. Let's go with one more college basketball game, then we're going to hockey. Ohio State and Northwestern tonight. This is my late preview in this one, and there's some nice Pac-12 tonight. I know Utah's playing Washington. I think that was one of Tony's actually. Check out. He's got 6 games previewed on the videos as well. After this show, of course. That's what he says. Make sure you. All right, let me preview this one here with Ohio State. Northwestern's had some nice wins. You know that. We've had some nice wins with Northwestern this season in some big spots against some good teams, usually at home. And, against Ohio State, they might be in a good spot again here against Ohio State, it feels like. This one at 8:30 Eastern and 5:30 Pacific time. You have Northwestern here. Going to be the favorite in this one. That changes things for you guys a little bit. Seeing Northwestern and Coach Collins doing a great job, obviously, with Northwestern. They're a 3-point favorite. Total down here to 137.5. Of course, I was going under because the total always moves against. We're going to have to move this show to 2 a.m. Pacific time so we can start to get some of the better of these lines. I tell you, sometimes they don't, some of these games don't make the show because I've already bet a few of them and I can't give out the worst of the line. But some of them that I save here in this one, I would think under, quite frankly, between these two with Ohio State and Northwestern. And I don't know if I necessarily mind the move here on Northwestern, even as a home favorite. Maybe the public will consider getting involved with Ohio State now as an underdog on the road. And maybe that Northwestern is more of a contrarian favorite of all things. I don't know if they're getting the public's attention necessarily here. Are they at 14-5 right now? And Ohio State comes in with a 13-6 record. Of course, in conference play right now in the Big Ten currently, we know that Wisconsin leads the standings. We saw them get that win. They're 8-1, but Northwestern 5-3 currently. It's Ohio State that's 3-5 and been the real sus team, if you will, having lost now. They're definitely in a funk at this point, having lost 4 of their last 5 games. They beat Penn State at home, but they lost on the road at Indiana, at Michigan, at Nebraska. Now, playing back-to-back road games in conference for the first time this season. They're going in to play tough Northwestern, man. And Northwestern, they're not actually that great against the spread, but they've been getting some numbers here of late. Of course, they had the big win over Illinois at home. They've also beat Maryland at home. They beat Penn State on the road, and they've had that other big home win, of course, against Michigan State, who, yeah, Sparty's got some issues, certainly. Don't forget they did beat Purdue at home, but hey, we were on Northwestern money line in that one. Remember? It's on YouTube. We're not. We don't have a. We didn't keep a record. We just put on YouTube for Here to Eternity in that one. So these two teams met last year here in Evanston, and Ohio State won it, but Northwestern did return the favor. Winning on the road last year. So Northwestern's had some success against Ohio State, no doubt about it. And I think we're going to end up probably on a double play. My college double play here of the day. I think we're going to roll it. And probably going to be Northwestern in the under. Just want to see any crazy market action here late. But I think I'm willing to lay some points here with Northwestern. Oh, it doesn't feel comfortable really as much as I liked the total much better. I think I like the total much better here under Ohio State and Northwestern. And I do like Northwestern here, actually, but at 3, let me just play the total on the show. I'm going to play just the total here on the show. Hey, you got 60 of you here. Thank you for watching the college basketball portion. If you have a few requests here, maybe now is the time I can pick a game or two. I will say the games that I don't know if it's by chance. It shouldn't be. I really do look, when you have a recommendation, I look at my sheet. The record, I should produce the same record, I think, overall, but the games that I preview in accordance to my script, the programmed games I do better than the request games. Joseph Thompson, thank you for your college contributions today. Look at some of these. Greensboro over, St. Thomas game to go over, Delaware to go over. Joseph Thompson, you are my man here with these totals. Added board totals, New Hampshire under. Thank you so much, Joseph. This adds to the coverage, enhances the coverage. I'm not going to preview these games, but Joseph has some plays here, right here, our all-star chat. David, hello, good morning to you. He likes the Wildcats. Thomas likes the Wildcats. Futon bets, Houston team total over. Always fun when we preview Houston. We didn't today. Jeff liked Northwestern. Joseph's here today. Hala Playa and Joseph Thompson. Another game from the added board. And I love smashing the added board, quite frankly, Joseph. I wish we could do more of it on the site. Maybe we will. We like to get my best games. And look, here's the thing. My added board games, my record is similar, very similar. It's tough. Not everyone's totally interested. Everyone does usually get the added board games now. And of course, I do have added board games, especially on the shorter cards, but usually doesn't make my big card here, even on a huge day. But we're working on that. We'll see. And Rich says, what about the Heels today? And I think I'm going to move on. I'm going to look to see if I can get my Heels play out here right now in this one in 659, 660. Hope I get it right, because it's not going to be a preview, if at all. But I do know with that game, at Florida State as a dog, first look, if you will, have to be to the over here, maybe. 6:59. Let me see. I want to make a play on that game by special request. Or maybe you want to fade it. I don't know. Oh boy. Well, there is some decent sharp action here. The sharps pretty much were all on the under, and then they came back here a little bit on the over late. Oh man. All right. Now I'm gonna grab these points at home with Florida State. That's gonna be my play. Taking Florida State, Rich. Going to take Florida State plus those points. I think I'm getting 6.5, 7 right now. Currently at 6. Oh, it's down to 6. 6 and 153.5. All right. I'm only getting 6. I'm taking 6. Give me Florida State in that one. Yeah.
Final.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no doubt, Joseph. That's where it's at. That's where it's at. Hey, that big game, Dayton and Richmond. I just mentioned it. Talking about one of the big games of the day, right? Dayton and Richmond. Definitely one of the biggest games of the day. Well, the total is moving. I said I liked the under, right? I was talking about, man, this thing was 136.5. I'm going to give out the under right now because I'm going to trust this move. Look, I know I've already said one of the reasons I backed off the under was that it was 136.5 early, is down to 132.5, but starting to get steamed again. That's going to be pretty sharp, it feels like to me. So I do like the under in Dayton and Richmond. I'm going to like Richmond a little bit more, but I was already talking about the under. I'm going to toss in the under there. Dayton and Richmond. It's already down to 132 now, it looks like, going down rapidly. All right. Thanks for your contributions, college basketball. I'll get the Discord up going probably within the next, probably 11:45 Eastern. A huge list of plays from the Don Best team here. Shout out Don Best. Could get a sponsorship maybe. Kenny White, you out there? I've got the noises in the background. You think it'd be a good... I don't know how it works. Anyways, another game that we talked about. I'm seeing that steam coming through right now. The Auburn, Mississippi State game. It's moving against me. I said I liked the over. I gave out the over. I talked about how those teams kind of go under, but the steam is coming in right now under Auburn and Mississippi State. Hey, good thing I gave it on the show. Doesn't mean I bet it necessarily yet. I'll get a little bit of bonus. I'm giving it out at 146 or whatever I said, but it's going lower than that for sure. All right, I think that's it for college basketball for now. But, man, what a day it's going to be. If you like college hoop, like I do, I'll be sitting here all day betting 100-plus games. Here we go. Hockey tonight. Let's get it going. There won't be much to these, you guys. Going to get a lot of picks and probably not a lot of content, but let's get them right. We had a strong day there on the ice. Hey, we did do pretty well also in college basketball yesterday when I mentioned our winners, right, with that. Hey, one request play that we did hit yesterday, no doubt, was that Iona-Siena game. That was by request. Gave out side and total yesterday, no doubt. Easy winner, quite frankly. Iona, the way we described the game, right, that Iona just sends so many guys out at you. Siena won't know what hit them. They were down, 42-19 at halftime, or what was it? It was some crazy. Iona ended up crushing them. Anyways, also we had a Discord winner, Niagara. Wasn't easy, but they were the better team. Niagara got it done. We also had a premium pick winner on the Wisconsin Badgers yesterday in that game against Michigan State. We also had a winner here on the show with Bonaventure yesterday over St. Joe's. Yeah, St. Joe's was coming in. We talked about Bonaventure owning the series. Close game turned into a blowout. Bonaventure wins. And, well, we got there on Stanford. Hope you did too. I know the game landed close. It was our premium pick winner. I think we all got there, but we gave it out at +3. I do get the best of the number. I don't want to pull anything. That's why I always say give out the worst of the number, but nothing I could do. When the line was there, I took it at 3. I know it landed 2 for some, but Stanford. And how about Mark Madsen? Cal won the game, just to make it clear. They won by 2, but Madsen gets the best of his old school, and he was out there leading the cheers. In hockey last night, we did have winners here on the show with the Florida Panthers. We gave out Florida to win that game. We also had the easy premium pick winner with the Colorado Avalanche. Let's go with hockey here. All right. And let's start with that Bruins and Flyers game that I mentioned here. And, well, the Bruins, we're talking about all the other teams, all the other contenders. The Bruins are kind of, well, are they the Celtics of the NHL right now? They still continue to look pretty strong and get it done. Like, they could go on and win the Stanley Cup or be in the finals or whatever. And we try to crown every other team. But, this total's got to be 6 by now. I mean, I want to go over. I know I want to go over in this one. And yeah, it's 6 under 15 or so. I knew at 5.5. I didn't put it down as a premium, but another piece of steam came in that's very interesting in the basketball. Just want to look real quick. BYU and Texas coming at steam on the under. I don't like it, though. I'm not going to mention. Okay, let me get this going here. 6 under, let's call it 6 under 15 or so. But this one's definitely going higher here between the Bruins and the Flyers. Man, should have went with a premium. I don't want to say at 5.5. I don't want to pull any wool over anybody's eyes like that or anything and get the best of the line here for an easy winner. But I like this one to be a high-scoring game. And maybe I can just give it out here on the show. I like the Flyers at home as a dog. This is the early game, so why not make it a double play, if you will? That I know it sounds really smooth, but it is off script. Really was going to come in here on the Flyers as a dog against the Bruins today, but I think more as I see this steam roll in, and it is 6. I'm going to give it out at 6. I like the over here. Philly's in a big time slump. They've lost 4 in a row. You got to wonder if they've, a big phony like they always are. They've always hit this point of the season. Actually, it usually comes earlier where they start losing all the games, but I'm going to give them a big chance here to beat hot Boston in this one. Today, just at the price. I think I prefer the price, but more so, I like the over here. These two teams you might think under at first, especially Philly right now. They're definitely going under of late, but I think these two teams, especially at 6, I mean, already at 5.5, I was thinking 3-3, something like that is going to happen in this game today. I don't expect a low scoring game. I do expect at least 6 goals here that could be tied with Philadelphia playing a much better game here, trying to turn it around a little bit. They're obviously in a bit of a stretch right now where they're not performing that well. See if you got your comments here on this one. Matt's on Boston. Salty says, take Philly on a Saturday. Ari says, give me the puck line in this one. Got to lay too much juice here necessarily for me. So I'm going to give out the Flyers, and I'm giving out the over on the show here. I do like the over, though, quite considerably in this one. All right. 4 of the last 5 meetings here between these two teams in Philadelphia have gone over. All right, next up. Keep it going here. Big time card, NHL. Want to get this show going. Capitals and Stars. Hey, interesting game here. Certainly. Keep talking about the Capitals. Oh, I want to mention something here. Let me see here real quick. Want to go back to Joseph Thompson's play. Just want to tell Joseph right now real quick. Hopefully hasn't been firing too yet. He likes the under in that game, and this game is getting steamed to the over. So, Joseph, just hold off if you can. You're going to get a better number. I'm not saying, it just because it's steamed doesn't mean it's right, but it's moving higher right now, Albany and New Hampshire. So, if you hopefully didn't get on that one, just want to mention that. I know we're on the hockey Dr. Flush, hello. Nice to see you. He's got it as a close game here today. Joseph said over in that game. I like the over in the Boston game. Matt says, do these Stars games keep going over at home? The Stars have gone over in 20 straight games at home. No, they haven't really gone over in 20 straight games at home, but it's something like that of late, right? The Stars games at home right now are on a massive over streak, and the Stars are favored here by 230. Capitals continue to be very, very competitive, no doubt, on the puck line here for a certain extent. Now, on the road, they're not that great, 9-13, and Dallas certainly here at home, 15-8. You mentioned those totals. They are 20-5 to the over at home right now. Are the Dallas Stars this season 20-5 to the over at home, and Washington has gone over in a few games here of late. Their last two big losses to Colorado and Minnesota, and you're facing another pretty good team. Now, Minnesota's not great, but they were better, and maybe they're getting healthy. Maybe they're getting a little bit better right now. Dallas has won 5 of their last 7. They've gone over in 10 of their last 15 overall, and 15 of their last 16 games for Dallas right now have gone over here at home. So it's not about that trend necessarily. It's about a big time streak. Washington has lost 11 of their last 16 games right now. So let's see what you guys have in this one. And Mike, I think, is going under here. Futon bets over. I mean, you got to think more overs with Dallas. It just feels like it's going to go over, but there's still some pressure here to the under, mostly, I would guess, from sharps, right? That total 6.5 under 20. It may be under 20 now because I think we even see more pressure to the over. I don't know what that was where that line came in where I saw like a 6 over 25. That was ridiculous. So I guess I would just kind of want to go over here, but I don't know if I trust Dallas to necessarily. I might take the Capitals on the puck line here. Salty with some other info there. So I'm going to take that actually as my play. I'm going to take the Capitals puck line in this one here. Dallas often overvalued a little bit, it feels like, at home. Now they have won 2 in a row, beat Anaheim, won at Detroit, did pretty well on that road trip. They've also won at New Jersey. Washington has lost 3 straight, all by margin here on the road. They're not looking good, but I'm going to take them. Here's a Stars over for our Thompson. Can't disagree right now, but feels like the line, Davis says go under despite all that run. I'm kind of feeling what Dave's saying. And look, I know, man, Dallas, this has been ridiculous, the number of overs they've had here of late, but all right, Predators and the Oilers here in this one. Preds on the road, going to be a dog, but man, that's where they kind of in a good position. Predators getting big money against, just the hottest team in hockey, winners of $1 billion in a row. Now, I keep saying I can't even keep track, but is it 14 or 15, you guys? I'm supposed to know these things. All right. Steam playing. Oilers continue to be red hot with this long winning streak at this point, with no sign that that'll end here as they continue to roll right now. I almost got to count it on my fingers at this point to see that they've won the 15 games in a row at this point. Maybe I just got to have an Edmonton Oilers win tracker. How can I not know they've won 15 games in a row? Been just a terrific run here for Edmonton. They've been awesome. We'll say, though, that the Sharps might be coming in here on Nashville. That's what it looks like to me, keeping this line down actually a little bit. You see it here. Yeah, 225. That's up from the openers, certainly, but certainly seems to be keeping it down a little bit. Some kind of money's coming in here, I would think, even at just 215. Nashville's been the team that has had some struggles. They did just win against Minnesota on the road, 3-2. They're still, had that good streak before they've lost three of their last 5 games here right now. But with this total at 6.5, I'd probably go over here in this one. That might be my play. Kind of want to. I don't think I'm going to mess with the side or the puck line here. See if I get your plays. I'm not confident on the side here in this one. All right. Jeff says take the under. Uh-oh. Well, I was going to go over, actually. I think we're going to agree to disagree, me and my pal. This one, Edmonton puck line here. Predators puck line for Futon bets. Who knows what we're doing with this one? It feels like to me, like I said, there seems to be big money on the Predators, but the steam came in on Edmonton, according to the line services here, and the over. In fact, that total now 6.5 under 20. So, all right, I'll just take the oversiding with the Sharps here in this one. I've only got one premium in hockey tonight so far. Probably could say I didn't like the basketball seems far more attractive to me to have a pretty big card today. All right, Sabres and Sharks in this one. You got a $2 favorite here with the Sabres. Look, this isn't a terrible spot for the Sharks. You got to try to find some spots to play them. After all, they are, for all their woes, they do show a little bit of profit in some spots at home. I mean, you just got to find the right spots. Now, it does appear to be some pretty serious money here on Buffalo today, driving this one up to as much as $1.98 now here at Bovada. And total here at 6.5. Buffalo has been going under big time here of late. Yeah, they just went over against the Kings, but most every other game for Buffalo right now has been an under of late. They've just been a big time under. You see the total here, 6.5 on screen, but let me see here. As I think I have mostly sixes. There's 6.5 under 20 at Bovada, but most of the books, their main line is going 6 over 20 in this one as the favorite. Buffalo has gone under in 4 of their last 6 games. San Jose, they've lost 15 of their last 19 games. They're also 2-8 against the puck line in their last 10, so they haven't even been getting their puck lines here of late. Buffalo just 7-9 as a puck line favorite. San Jose's actually covered 4 straight puck lines. They're on their best run of the season right now with 3 straight wins. Here, they beat Anaheim, they beat the Kings, they beat the Rangers. The Sharks are hot. So, could this be? Is this it? Can you back the Sharks here on their 3-game winning streak against Buffalo? And you got. Well, I think Levy's in there, actually. I was going to see. I didn't look at the goalies just yet. I know Kakkonen, I think, is actually confirmed as the goalie in this one. So maybe I could just fire it up and see if it comes up. But you guys want to back the lowly Sharks here in this one? Is this the time? Feels like it is. Here's Matt on San Jose. Mike on the Sabres. It looks like our Tomps is on the under. And feels like I want to be on the under too if it's going to be up to 6. All right, just want to sneak a peek at these goalies here if I can, but yeah, just Kakinen confirmed. It looks like here in this one. All right, Sharks puck line for Jeff. Johnny Walker says maybe it is the Sharks. Maybe he's on the money line today with these red hot Sharks. All right. Well, this probably feels like my least confident game, but I'm going to take the Sharks here on this puck line today. Playing well, 3 in a row. Can they make it 4? Go Sharks. All right. Coyotes and Hurricanes in this one. I think we see Ingram and Kochetkov here in this one. And right now, the Hurricanes, big favorite here. Maybe a little bit too big for their britches. 250 or so. Total 6 over 20, 6 over 25, even maybe here at a few spots today. All right. Carolina probably just maybe a little bit too high for me here, even against. I mean, Arizona is always a team that I kind of want to look to go with. Yeah, we do trust them at home big time here, but maybe getting a goal and a half at minus $1.20 so might be worth the look. Today. That might be the direction I'd be headed here. You got Arizona 13 and 10 on the puck line on the road. Carolina just 9 and 14 on the puck line at home. They're 15 and 27 on the puck line overall. And here you're dealing with a game where basically near pick 'em as far as the puck line is concerned. Arizona is a puck line underdog, 20 wins, 16 losses. So does seem a bit equitable, like the Arizona might be the right play here. Just feel like it's too high. Even the line too high feels like was as high, low as 220. Got hit pretty good. Now all the way up here 250 or so. I don't know if I trust that move. System play. All right. See what we got from you guys here. Arizona's 13 and 10 to the over on the road. Doubles does like the over here in this one. That's I think that's the way I was headed as well, especially at 6 over 20, 6 over 25. Here's a nice parlay here. Look at this. Futon bets. Sharks puck. Oh, the wrong game there. We're done with this game, it looks like. Give me Arizona on the puck line today. All right. Well, the Golden Knights. Oh, let me see here. That one got moved to later. Let me just. The Rangers are next. Golden Knights got a time change, so we'll just go with the order here. With Rangers on the road against the Senators. And Rangers a pretty decent spot here, you'd think. A much better team than Ottawa, but it's not always a great trip, if I'm not mistaken, when the Rangers go to Ottawa. They are the favorite here at $1.20 in the total, 6.5 over 2025 here now for some spots. Looks like it's gone up here a little bit. Oops. Pardon me here just a second. Trying to get the notes maybe here on this game. Here we go. All right. Rangers are definitely in one of their worst slumps of the season here currently, and they're going to take on an Ottawa team that's done pretty well. Ottawa, let's see here. 9 of the last 13 meetings between these two teams have gone under. Ottawa's been mostly an over team at home, 14-8-1 to the over, 14-10 to the over as an underdog. For the Rangers, they've lost 4 out of their last 5. They've lost 6 of their last 7 on the road as they have been struggling here. Losses to San Jose, lost to VGK. Ottawa, meanwhile, they've won 2 of their last 3 games, wins over Philly and Montreal on the road, lost to Boston in a close one at home. 3-2 last time out. Senators playing okay for the most part. I want to give them a big chance here in this game against the Rangers today. Or no, Rangers have to find somebody they can beat, but they're going with Quick in here right now against Corpusalo today. I don't know. All right. See if we get plays from you here in this one. Carolina and Regulo from. Okay, here's Matt D going with the under in this one. Oh boy, I don't know. Maybe I was looking to the over here, but action came in early on the Rangers. They've since come back here on the Senators. This one feels like another tough one for me on the confidence meter, but I almost want to throw my hands up. Rangers on the road, not terrible necessarily in this spot. Let me take a look here. I know this slump is bad, but man, they've got to find us an opponent they can beat. Could it be Ottawa? Ottawa's lost 8 of their last 12 games right now, but man, they've been hanging in there every single time right now. Want to take Ottawa. Mike's on the Rangers. Okay, I've got to go with Ottawa here at home. Figure out what's wrong with these Rangers right now, and the goalie situation. I mean, look, Quick's been fine. Definitely would like Shesterkin in there. Looks like it's going to be Quick. I'm going to take Ottawa. Keep it going here. Want to get this show going. Get to the college basketball. Myself, got to get to the window. Here comes the Devils against Tampa Bay in this one. Tampa Bay, wow, they're up to $1.60 here tonight. Well, maybe they're down in a few spots. $1.60 at Bovada. 6.5 over 20, 6.5 over 25 right now in this one. The Lightning, we talked about them yesterday, right? You're getting healthy. You're getting Vasilevsky in there. Maybe the Lightning are that team that can catch fire a little bit and try to throw some curves into the way for the Bruins and some of these other East teams. I mean, we know the Lightning have been there and done that, so maybe they can find a way to get it going here. I would think they're in a pretty good position tonight. Price might be a little tough to swallow, but I certainly thought it would be a little bit higher than this. So Lightning might be a pretty good call, but I think more so I'll look to the total in this game. I mean, these two teams, this looks like it's getting pretty darn high for this total right now at 6.5 over 25. I mean, for these two teams, I wouldn't think it'd get much, much higher than this. Yeah, these two teams do have a little bit of a tendency to play to some overs, but did you have Vasilevsky back here? We give no respect to the man right now. Like he's not going to come on and start to turn it on here a little bit for Tampa Bay moving forward. So Tampa Bay still has a pretty strong record coming in with 28-16 or 26-18 and 5. New Jersey 24-19 and 2. All right. New Jersey, they've been alternating wins and losses. Tampa Bay hot. They've won 8 of their last 10. They're 16-5 at home. Mike's on Tampa Bay. All right, fair enough. I don't know, man. I've got Vasilevsky in here. I almost want to go under this big number. Will there be a lot of goals in here? Look, they steamed it again. It's not terrible, but man, I've got to take the under in this one. If the Lightning are going to win, which you guys are Tampa Bay in regulation. That's 2 on Tampa Bay, I guess. I was going to say, if you guys think the Lightning are going to win, we had 1 pick. So now we have 2. I would think it'll go under. All right, Canadians and Penguins here. Hey, what got into the Canadians, right? Maybe they can find another team they can beat here in the Penguins. Penguins are no good. Come on. Not against the Canadians anyway. I'm half kidding. Montreal gets 500 with a win tonight. maybe they are fighting back here a little bit of late. They beat the Islanders in that game the other night, 4-3. They won it right at the end of regulation. Trying to remember now. They're coming off a 4-3 win, snapped that 3-game losing streak. Pittsburgh's on a 3-game losing streak, and they're 250 favorites here. What? Come on. You got to give the Canadians a little bit of respect, at least to hang in here, maybe get a puck line in this one. The Sharps are clearly on the Penguins. That feels like to be. Still hanging in there. Down to 220, though, so maybe there was some action on the Canadians. That'd have to be maybe from the Sharps, whoever they are. 6.5 under 15, maybe under 20 here. Two teams solidly going under all the time, right? At 6.5 under 15. Now, there's been action both ways, but I would think under with these two teams right now. Montreal's gone under in 7 of their last 10. Pittsburgh's gone under in 8 of their last 10. Pittsburgh's 8-14 to the under at home. And Montreal, maybe they're a little more flatlining as far as the total is concerned here, but they are on the road right now, and they certainly have had trouble scoring sometimes on the road. They scored 2 at Ottawa recently. All right, Montreal, they've gone over in 4 of their last 6, but Pittsburgh's gone under in 4 of their last 5. 6 of the last 7 meetings have gone over here, but these two teams really do feel like under teams right now. And I know there's been two-way action. I want Montreal, first of all, here on the puck line, it feels like to me, but let me just take the under as the play for the show. I'll save it with Montreal. Maybe I'll just play it in pocket. I'll play my team against the Penguins. Gino says, give me the puck line. Why not? All right. Gonna get it going here, wrap it up on the show, get it moving on for the day to Maple Leafs and the Jets. We'll roll through a few more plays. Oh, come on. The Jets are red hot and they're laying a reasonable price. Yeah, the Leafs are coming off a pretty good performance as well. This is a good game tonight here, underrated, unheralded game with Toronto and Winnipeg. The way Winnipeg's been going, one of the best teams in the league, certainly right now, and playing well despite a 2-game losing streak. You got to consider maybe just a little bit of a fluke. They were playing pretty good teams on the road and lost at Toronto 1-0, lost at Boston 4-1. They were able to beat Ottawa on the road by a goal. The Leafs, they're hot. They've won 2 straight, beat Seattle 3-1. They beat Winnipeg 3-1, of course, in that last game as these two teams kind of play back-to-back here. It has been 3 days since they played that game. Remember, it was 0-0 forever in that game before the Leafs were able to get the goal. So will we see a different game today between these two teams? A different type of game? Here, the odds makers seem to think that when you look at the line here. In fact, it is down to 6. I better correct it. I think mostly looking at 6. I'll call it 6 flat. There are some that are just 6 over 15 and 6 under 15. We'll call it 6 flat here with the Leafs and the Jets. These two teams, big time unders, at least the Winnipeg Jets 8-14-2 to the under at home. Toronto has been going under big time here these last 2 games and in general, right? They've been going under. I think they've gone under. Let me take a look at their log. I want to say 8 of their last 10 games. At this point, Toronto's gone under in 4 of their last 6. Winnipeg's gone under in 6 of their last 7. Winnipeg just 2-8 last 10 meetings between these two teams here in Winnipeg. All right. Toronto's won 4 straight meetings between the two. Here's Mike on the Jets. I want the Jets. I want the Jets, it feels like to me. I kind of want them as maybe a premium even here in this one, is what I feel like. Maybe I'll take the total and maybe just reserve this today. All right. Yeah, give me the over as my play. I know I have some regrets because I went with the over on the show, I think, the other night, and it was 0-0 for like the whole game. Gino says close game sneaks over, maybe. And again, we're dealing with a 6 here. Saw plenty of 5.5. I've seen 5.5 over 25. I've seen 6.5 under 40. Make up your mind, odds makers. Maybe they were confused by that last game. All right, keep it going here. Panthers, Red Hot Panthers, and the Islanders. Panthers on the road here, $1.35. No confirmation of the goalies here just yet, but Florida continuing to roll with their 30-14 record coming in. Maybe goals are expected to be hard to come by. Look, we've already seen a big change in the Islanders. It feels like, yeah, that last game against Montreal was 4-3, but remember it's 3-1 for the most of the game until late. Florida's won 3 straight wins at Pittsburgh, beat Arizona. They won at Nashville. The Pittsburgh game at Pittsburgh was just 3-2, but Florida, one of the hottest teams in the league. They're getting good goaltending too. Here they're 7-18 to the under on the road. The Islanders are 28-18 to the over, but they are an underdog here to the Red Hot Panthers. And let's see here. These two teams have met already this season once, and it was the 4-3 win for the Islanders at Florida. Islanders are up to $1.50 or so right now. It looks like $1.45 at Circa, $1.50 at Bovada. Total now, big time move here. 6 over 25. And I don't think I was wrong necessarily on that early line, but maybe it was a little bit of an outlier. But man, this thing's gone up nearly a full puck, or I'm sorry, a full half a puck from that opening total. That would only be on the Islanders' behalf. It feels like. I don't know if I trust that move. All right. No. If you're going to do that to me, well, I might just reserve it here. I'm going to go with the side here and take a look here. I think I'm going to end up on the Islanders actually in this one. That's the short price. I'm going to save that. I like this total now moving up because I think it's going to – look, Patrick Waugh is your new coach. We know that, right? The Islanders probably going to shift their focus, it feels like, right? If they're going to do what their intentions are here with Patrick Waugh, it feels like to me, right? So I'm going to go ahead and take the Islanders at home to win this one, to stop the Red Hot Panthers. Give me the Isles tonight.
Final.
R. Thompson on the Panthers here. Okay, here's that time change. Golden Knights on the road. They are at the Red Wings here tonight. Red Wings are actually a favorite here, $1.35. 6 over 15 right now. And it's reasonable, right? We know the Red Wings are playing pretty well. They're 25-18 right now. Vegas 29-14. Good one here. Vegas, they're back to hot. Wins here on the road against the Islanders and the Rangers. They keep going here on the road against the Red Wings, coming off a 3-0 win against the Flyers, but they have been alternating wins and losses here of late.
System play.
So in this one, you have Vegas coming in, having won 5 of their last 6 overall. Detroit's won 4 of the last 6 meetings between the two, and Vegas was playing poorly on the road. They had lost like 7 in a row, I think, before these last 2 wins on the road. Detroit's won 8 of their last 11 overall. They've gone under in 5 of their last 6 games. However, they've gone over in 6 of their last 9 at home. These two teams, of course, just met about a week ago. Detroit won 3-2 at Vegas. Vegas won here earlier this season 4-1. Oh no, is that right? No, this is the first meeting of the season between these two teams. The last meeting at Vegas was a Detroit win, but that was January of last year. I was thinking it was 4 days ago, but still not used to 2024 like anybody 1 month in. So first meeting between these two teams this season. Both teams red hot. Like I said, 7-2-1 in their last 10. Detroit's 13-8 at home right now. This streak is pretty good. But Vegas hot again. Like I've said a couple times this week, teams going on streaks. There's streaks, and streaks, it feels like. All right. Well, in this one, man, another toughie, it feels like for me, but I want to take the Red Wings here tonight. At this price. Feels like it's pretty good to me. They feel a little bit more profitable at home. Knights did have, I know they've won these 2 games in a row, but still we're struggling on the road. Give me the Red Wings tonight. Hi, Biggie. How are you? Mike's on Detroit. Looks like you guys are kind of done with the hockey picks, except for me and Mike, maybe. So we'll just whip through them and get the show over with. Here, we got to keep rolling. 3 more games, I think, and we'll get out of here. Ducks and Wild. Of course. Sounds like grab your duck blind and head on out. All right. Anaheim here. This has got to be a great spot for the Ducks, it feels like. I mean, this is where you want to take the Ducks. Isn't it? In general, it's like one of the best spots on the board in a way, considering the price. Not necessarily the best. I mean, Anaheim's 16-30. Minnesota's had their issues, but they've been coming on here kind of late. But of course, for Minnesota, the 3-game winning streak was snapped by Nashville last time out in a 3-2 loss. But Anaheim, they're off a loss to Dallas, but they did beat Buffalo at home. They hung in there with Dallas in that last game. I think the Ducks are live. This feels like the spot I want the Ducks in. I guess I could recommend them here on the puck line at +1.5. -140. I'm sprinkling the money line here tonight in this one with the Ducks. I feel like this is a spot. Looks like the Sharps are in on the Sharps are actually kind of split, but when I see the market activity like this, I'm, without trying to explain it here, I don't know if I ever could explain it to you. It's like one of those that people say it's just noise, but this is how I kind of search out for my winners and good underdogs, and this is going to be one of them here with the Ducks here tonight. Wilds has owned this series, no doubt about it. The Ducks haven't beat them in forever right now. Tonight will be the night, feels like to me, and I'll be that guy celebrating on, maybe I'll be on one of those shows and I'll say, I told you so. Anaheim's lost 10 straight games to the Minnesota Wild. They've lost 4 out of their last 5. Minnesota, they are just 5-10 in their last 15 games, 2-7 their last 9 games at home. So they're not playing that well, despite a little bit of getting back a little bit of success here with that 3-game winning streak. A lot of it was tied into the injuries. We're getting a little bit healthier here. I've got Anaheim tonight. All right. Matt's on the Wild. Great Biggie. Won 6 dimes yesterday. And our Tom's Detroit money line on that other game. Okay, gotta go. Here we go. Blue Jackets and Canucks in this one. Well, the Canucks, maybe I can find a favorite now after just trying to talk up an ugly dog. But maybe it's going to be a favorite here in this one tonight with Columbus and Vancouver. More so, maybe I can like the under. This one continues, I believe, to move lower, all the way down to 600. Well, no. 6 over 35 at DraftKings and stuff. So maybe I do like a solid under here. Hold the phone. Maybe I just better go with the Canucks on the puck line because I think I like the total here possibly at 6.5 juice to the over. Um, Look, I think the Columbus is not going to be in a very good spot tonight to score goals against Demko. That's what I would worry here about in this one with Columbus. Look, they scored one at Edmonton. They scored one in the game against New Jersey. Yeah, they just blew up against Calgary the other night for a 5-goal performance. But Vancouver, they've had some impressive wins at home. They did just lose to St. Louis the other night, 4-3, but they beat Chicago 2-0. They beat Arizona 2-1. High scoring game against Toronto, but against a team like this, I expect Vancouver here to cover this puck line tonight. Red hot Vancouver, one of the best teams in the league right now. At Columbus, one thing we've said, of course, almost every time, because Columbus has been one of our favorite plays, puck line with Columbus, but not tonight. Give me Vancouver and maybe be looking for a total premium total here is what it feels like. All right. Canucks all day, said Gino. Last game, we got to go, you guys. It's over here. Blackhawks and Flames. Another huge favorite here that I don't know. I'm willing to get behind the Canucks on a puck line tonight. I don't know if I'm willing to get behind the Flames necessarily, despite how bad it's been for Chicago right now. And not only that, the dismal effort with the shutout again, another shutout loss this time against Edmonton the other night. Chicago not doing anything, quite frankly. So probably not going to want to recommend Chicago necessarily, but maybe I can get in on the under here in this one at 6 flat. Gosh, maybe as we're getting juiced to the under now, minus $1.20. Don't like this one at all, but just feels like 3-0, just like every game does. It feels like for the Blackhawks right now. Guess that would put me on the puck line tonight with Chicago and Calgary. Look, you look at this series overall, and it's been Chicago in the past. They've won 4 out of the last 5, but Chicago's road losing streak now stands at 19 games on the road. They've lost 12 of their last 15 games overall. Calgary's lost 4 straight. They've gone Calgary comedy is what I called it the other night with that poor effort against Columbus, losing 5-2. They lost at home to St. Louis. They've been on a homestand and losing games. That's how bad it's been. But can they take it out on Chicago tonight? They better. Just give me the under as a play on the show. Not real even keen on it because Calgary at any moment, of course, we know they can go on and win 5-1, 4-2, something like that. Still feel comfortable and win. Thanks a lot, everybody, for joining me on the morning steam today. We'll be back tomorrow with NFL football. I already know who I'm on, and maybe I could still pull off that confidence pool that I'm in, but I'd need to win them all and get a little bit of lucky, I think, in there. Someone maybe play a little game theory. Maybe I need to play a little game theory. Hey, I want to thank you all for joining me here today and all the folks in the chat. I'm not going to go over them today. We want to get out of here, get you out of here. Fernando's got some action for us here. He's already cashed. He cashed. Head on over to the Discord right now. Go to the Discord, you guys. I'm going to put in all the steam in there from this morning that's already come out. I'm going to put the steam in the Discord. There's like probably 50 plays at least that you can look at. They're not plays for me, but they're just the biggest steam moves. You're going to look at them and say, wow, this thing's moved 3 points. Well, that's because the that's one. The sharpest bettors have dug into that one. It's up to you to decide. Feels like a good move. You agree with it. But here's the thing. Just caution yourself, right? If you go in knowing, hey, I like this team, and then you look at this thing and they were -4, and then you get to the window and they're -7, hey, maybe you still like it. Maybe that pumps you up and says, hey, the big money came in on it. I'm going to roll it, but also look at it realistically and say, wow, did it go too far? And look where it was, because that's where we get in trouble, is not getting the best of the line. You can get away with it sometimes. You can even be a beneficiary of the line movement. But sometimes, if you're not as confident and it's totally gone against you, let's not do it. All right. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate all you guys in the chat today. Join me tomorrow, more Morning Steam, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific, here on the Tony's Picks YouTube channel. Have a great day. And I'll hit up the Discord right now. Meet me over there. If you haven't been in there yet, I promise you that Steam is going to be up in the next 2 minutes. 2 minutes. For Tony'sPicks.com, I'm Ramon Scott.
Can it be showing up with Tony T? Yes, Ramon SEO. To the double T, befuddling these bookies like 1, 2, 3. They tapping out and we cashing out. It's plain to see. The morning scheme is the A-team, Mr. T. And I pity the fools who can't hang. Coming with real game is sort of a freight train. It's been reported bank rolls are easy to maintain.